Good morning, all of you. In the discussion of economic series, we will continue our discussion, module third. Our topic today's our topic is poverty. This is the platform of Gyan Sagar Civil Academy based on Delhi. All videos with respective PDF we students can download from our channels. It's known as Gyan Sagar Civil Academy. Its facilities will be available also at Telegram, Facebook, and YouTube, and all different social sites. So today's our topic is poverty. What is the poverty? Poverty is the deprivation of basic necessities. Poverty is the deprivation of basic necessities. Poverty is a condition under which a person is unable to meet its basic needs. Poverty is a condition under which individual is unable to meet its basic necessities for life. What is poverty? Poverty is a condition under which an individual is unable to fulfill its basic necessities for life. In other words, we can say poverty is the deprivation. Poverty is the deprivation from basic necessities, including food, clothes, home, health services, education facilities, water, drinking water, sanitation facilities, and information and other services, etc. So, in broad terms, we can say poverty is a condition under which individuals are unable to meet daily basic necessities for the life. In other words, we can say poverty is a condition that is characterized by poverty is a condition that is characterized by deprivation of basic needs. Poverty is a condition that is characterized by deprivation of basic needs like food, clothes, shelters, health and education facilities, drinking water and sanitations, and informations. The definition of poverty varies society to society, country to country. According to the Society of America, yani US, it's mean a person is not having the four wheelers, या car, that is poor. According to Indian society, if a person is not having bike and motorcycle, then it is poor. And according to subcontinental countries like subcontinental countries of Asia like Bhutan, Nepal, Pakistan, and Bangladesh, poverty means if a person is not having bike and like that, so he is poor. So here we will write one very important definition that is given by the UN. According to UN, according to United Nations, poverty is a condition that characterized by severe deprivation of by severe deprivation of basic needs, by severe deprivation of basic needs, including foods, clothes, shelters, safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, health and education and information, health and education services and information. What is the poverty? According to United Nations, it is a very peculiar definitions. A person will be poor if he is not able to fulfill his basic necessities like food, clothes, shelters, health and education facilities, drinking water and sanitation facilities, and uh, other services like the information, etc. So, according to UN, poverty is a condition that characterized by severe deprivation of basic needs, including food, clothes, shelters, safe drinking water, sanitation facilities, health and education services, and information. So, another things, it depends not only on income but also another points related to the UN also. It depends not only on income but also access to services and other things. In other words, we can say poverty is a state under which peoples are unable to fulfill its basic needs. Poverty is a state under which peoples cannot afford to buy basic needs. It is a condition under which people cannot buy their basic needs like food, clothes, shelters, education, etc. So these are the poverty. In our folk words, in Dehati words, we can say roti, kapda and makan. Roti, कपड़ा एंड मकान. इफ यानी कोई बंदा जिसके पास रोटी और कपड़ा मकान नहीं है तो वो गरीब है. मतलब इंडिया जो अपनी सोसाइटी के फॉकलोर्स में ये बात बोलते हैं कॉमन यूजुअल में कि अगर किसी के पास रोटी कपड़ा मकान नहीं है तो ही इज पुअर. Another thing say that I also want to mention here, indicators of the poverty. Indicators of poverty. It will be the social indicators, economic indicators. So what will be the social indicators? Social indicator means just like illiteracy and lack of health care. One is illiteracy, lack of health facilities, lack of health care, lack of health care, unemployment, and and overpopulation, and lack of job opportunities, malnutrition, lack of job opportunities, malnutrition, transport. Transport cannot be a social indicators because it is related with the economic factors. But in economic indicators, it will not be included as a indicator for the poverty, because in some countries transport facilities are very advanced and very developed. In other countries, transport facilities are very poor. It doesn't means कि if peoples are not accessing and not having the affordability of the transport, so they are the poor. No, transport is a not in social indicator of the poverty. 1 year in examination, it was asked the question कि which indicators come under the social indicators of the poverty. So transport will not come under the social indicators of the poverty. Other social indicators like the social exclusion is also part of the social indicators for the poverty. Just like social exclusion means certain sections of Indian societies are deprived based on the birth in a specific communities, that is better known as the SC and ST. So they are eliminated and just segmented from the societies, and due to the factor of birth in a specific communities. So social phenomena is major factors for that happening for the social exclusion, just like untouchability and casteism and caste prejudices. So these factors associated with the poverty, because if any person is announced as untouchable, so whenever he will move towards any jobs and any place, any marketplaces, so people will not recognize him as his social fellows. So on that basis, it is also a social indicators of poverty. And what will be the economic indicators of the poverty? Just like a low income and consumptions, unemployment, lack of the employment, lack of productivity, and inadequate housing facilities, house income will both conditions. Okay, so these are the economic factor. Low per capita income will come under economic indicators of the poverty. Low per capita income will come under economic indicators of the poverty. Next, we are coming. So vulnerability and exclusion. Vulnerability means if peoples are not susceptible to fight, to adjust against the occurring any disasters. If peoples are not susceptible to fight, to dare the occurring challenges, so that is the vulnerability. Vulnerable society means if peoples cannot combat against the occurring of disaster like the earthquake and volcanic eruptions and floods, etc. So these are the social vulnerability. Next points we are discussing here, factor increasing poverty. What are the major factors that are responsible for increasing the poverty? So in this way we can discuss here. One thing say that people knowing very well factors for increasing the poverty. Factors for increasing poverty. What are the major factors for increasing the poverty? British colonial factors. British 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 colonial factors. One thing that we have to know, British policy have ruined our agrarian economy, and at that time lot of the people, a maximum population of the India was engaged in economic activities. So agriculture was the most employability. Agriculture was the major factor that employed to the masses. So British ruined our handicraft industries also. So they are play major factor in depriving our the poor sections or weaker section of the society. Next point we can attach here, division of resources. Division of resources and ownership of land and industry. One thing I have to know, we have to know about the division of the resources. After independence, government of India and different state implemented its own land reform policies. Up to a certain extent, they get success in distributing the lands to the marginal sections, and they are able to remove the poverty from our society. So division of the land and ownership of the lands and industry. Ownership means beside the implementations of the land reforms, large patch of the lands is still concentrated in certain hands. So it is also major factors of the poverty. As far as concerned the industries and factories and manufacturing sectors, so certain sections of the society having the ownerships and resources that are concentrated in certain hands. This is happening since this has been happening since independence and is still ongoing. Due to that factor, poverty is reeling and deeply rooted in our society. Next point, lower growth rates. Next point, lower growth rate. Lower growth rate. One principle is known as the trickle down effect. One principle known as the trickle down effect. We have to know what is the trickle down effect principles. According to Macaulay Minutes, Macaulay, he was the scholar and a Britisher, and he given a principle about the Indian education system, and that is was known as the Macaulay Minutes. Okay, minutes means some selective assumptions that propounded for as a suggestion. That's propounded as a suggestion. So these are the minutes. Okay, Macaulay Minutes. So he said, according to Macaulay, our education system must be designed in such a manner that the English education to be provided to the selective creamy layers, and they have to bound to penetrate the education to the lower state of the society. From these pyramids, we can think about that. What is the trickle down effects? British is responsible to provide the education to the selected top brass of the creamy layers of India, and it will be in English. This creamy layer is bound, this creamy layer is bound to penetrate the education to their fellows, those are below them. So in regional languages, in regional languages, yeah, regional languages. So this is the trickle down effect. If we are removing here education and we are putting here economy, and resource generation, output and employments, etc. So lower growth rates. If our growth is increasing, initially after independence, the government of India adopted the same principle for economic policies of the trickle down effect. According to it, if resources are channelized from gross toward the lower strata, if top creamy layers are involved in the enterprises, they are establishing the factories and industries, so automatically they will create employments, they will enhance the productions, and simultaneously our growth rate will increase. So on that basis, resources will penetrate, employment will be availed to the labor strata of the society. So here they adopted that principle. But unfortunately, our growth rate was very low up to the 1981, and that was called the Hindu growth rate. It was approximately 3.5%. And at 1991, it became a 5.8 and like that. Okay. After that, our growth rate started when we are adopted the policy of LPG, and since that, our growth rate is enhancing spontaneously. Now our growth rate is high, low. Automatically, poverty will increase. Okay. And other factors: poverty, high growth rate of the population. Another thing, say, and increasing inflation, increasing price rise, and price rise. We can say also, if price rise is very high, if price rise is high, inflation is increasing. Compared to the increasing the inflation, growth rate is low. So a lot of the people say will remain still poor. This is the also factor. Next point, high growth rate of the population. High growth rate of population. Population increasing and population is decreasing, as well as sometimes population, I means large population is also play vital roles in the boosting of economy. In that manner, so we can discuss here one formula and policy like that. What is the role of the population? So suppose that investments, investments, if investment is increased, suppose that if investment is increased, yeah, we are increasing in investments, so lot of production will increase, production will increase, lot of industries will be established, and several enterprises will be started if we are having the investments. If production increased, so it means production also increase, so employment will also increase, because for the production we require the personnel. One thing say that I have to know person and personnel. Personnel and one is personal. I also talk here about the personnel, double NEL, यानी कि man at work. What does mean by man at work? So we are talking here personnel, man at work. So employment will increase because a lot of the population will get employment. If employment will increase, so purchasing power will increase. Purchasing power will increase. If purchasing power increasing, it's mean it created the demands. It created the demands because people are having purchasing powers and they have money to purchase the goods and services. So demand will also increase. If demands is increasing, it's mean production will increase. If means production will increase, investor will want to invest too much because there existed very high demands. So it creates a cycle. Another things, if employment increases, demand increasing means market. Demand increasing means market created. So here we find the employments will also, that is the population. If employment increased, it's mean population, a lot of the peoples of India or any country would be able to find the jobs. If they are having the jobs, it's mean their growth rate will decrease. Will decrease. Another things, if peoples are at work, I mean they are having the purchasing power, yani peoples are earning, so they are investing their money and their expenditure will also increase. So increasing population is a symbol of demand. Increasing population is a symbol of demand also, just like the India. So India is a very large market because it has huge population and a young population share in the world. So for the US companies like the Lenovo and Intel, Microsoft and iPhone and Apple's, I think the India is a huge market because it has huge population. If any country is having huge population, it's mean, if any country is having huge population means having huge market. And if any person, any country is having huge population, so it's mean is having huge employments, labor supply, huge labor supply. Okay, so population, high growth rate of the population is also a factor for the increasing growth rate. Simultaneously it also decreasing the factor, it is also a factor for the decreasing of the growth rate. Why? Because here suppose that population, one thing is the liability, another is the asset. If we have a trend, skilled full population, healthy populations, so these are the assets. If we have weaker, I mean sick peoples and they are unhealthy and they are unskilled and they are not having the capacity building, so we have liability. So the same population will be the liability and sometimes it will be asset. In this case it will be the asset, in another case it is the liability. Next point we are coming here, unemployment, high growth rate, simultaneously unemployments. So high population rate, growth rate of the population means we are not having too much opportunities to provide the employment to the peoples, and a lot of peoples remain unemployed due to that they are the poor. It's mean if we are increasing the capital formation, if increasing the capital formation, we have developed the banking tendencies and mentality and thinking of the peoples, and we generate the trust among the people for the investment and financial services as well as the insurance services. So a lot of the money and capitals, those are trapped inside the houses in the shape of asset like the gold and different. So it will be invested in the banking sector and finance markets. So these financial factors will create as a investments. Later our economy will be boosted in a cyclic manner. Now we are coming to another topic, say types of the poverty. Types of poverty. Poverty can be classified in different types. One is that the absolute poverty. Absolute poverty. Next one is relative poverty. Relative poverty. Uh, and other factors, because poverty is most of the time classified into two groups. One is the absolute poverty and another one is the relative poverty, and other is chronic poverty, churning poverty. Next one is chronic poor, and next one is churning. Next one is churning poor, churning poor, and next one is churning poor. Next one is occasionally poor, occasionally poor, and next one is generational poor, generational poor, occasionally poor, and next one is generational poor, generational poor, and EFG, rural poor, rural poor, and EFGH, urban poor, urban poor. Occasionally poor means cyclic poor poverty, cyclic poverty. In 1 year, I think say in UPPCS one question was asked, how many types we can classify poverty. So some students solve this question. They read basically poverty is classified absolute poverty and relative poverty. But in actual parlance, poverty can be divided into different segments and different groups, like absolute poverty, relative poverty, chronic poor, yeah, poverty, churning poor, yeah, poverty, occasionally poor, cyclic poverty, generational poor, and rural poor, and urban poor. So these are the basic classification of the poverty. We will discuss in detail about that. Okay. So what is the rural poor? If rural population of the rural populations, those are not able to fulfill their basic necessities, they will come under the rural poverty. And urban poor means people are not able to fulfill their basic necessities like housing and health facilities, etc. So and employments, etc. So they will come under the urban poor. Another one is the generational poor. The poverty that shifted from generation to generation. My means father is poor, in the similar fashion, similar manner, offspring is also poor. So the poverty that shifted, that transmit from generation to generation, that is the generational poor. Now we will discuss detail about this. Okay, and these things we will describe in a chart. So what is the absolute poverty? What is the absolute poverty? Absolute poverty means measures poverty in relation to the amount of money necessary to meet basic needs. Absolute poverty, it measures poverty in relation to the amount of money in relations. What is the absolute poverty? Type of poverty. Types of poverty. What is the absolute poverty? Absolute poverty. Here we can write one definition about the absolute poverty. It measures poverty in relation to the amount of money. It measures poverty in relation to the amount necessary to the amount of money necessary to meet the basic needs. It measures poverty in relation to the amount of money needed to fulfill money necessary to meet their basic needs like food, clothes and shelters. Food, cloth and shelters. So what is the absolute poverty? It measures poverty in relation to the amount of money necessary to meet their basic needs. So it measures poverty in relation to the amount that fulfill our basic needs. So it is the threshold limits which demarcates the amount of money if any persons having income or expenditure below this threshold limit, he would be the poor. He would be declared as a poor. If any persons who's having income or expenditure above this threshold limits, he will be the non-poor. So it is the indicators. UN defined it according to UN. Absolute poverty means the definition that initially I wrote here. I write here initially in the starting of the topics. That was the definition by the given by the UN was the definition of absolute poverty. So according to UN, poverty is a condition that characterized by deprivation of basic human needs, including food, clothes, shelters, education facilities, health facilities, drinking water and sanitation facilities, and informations. So this was the definition given by the UN. So it was the actual definition related to the absolute poverty. Next point, it is expressed in poverty line. It is expressed in in relation to a poverty line. In relation to a poverty line. So it is expressed in relation to a poverty line, means poverty, absolute poverty always express a poverty line. यानी कि it demarcate a threshold limit. If any individual income or expenditure is below this threshold limits, he will be declared as a poor. If any individual's income is above this line, he will be he will be declared as a not poor person. So here it is expressed in relation to a poverty line. Later we will discuss about the poverty line in detail in the next class. So World Bank set an income of this limit. This poverty line according to the World Bank. Here I mentioned about the World Bank. World Bank fixed this poverty line what they fix poverty line per capita income 2.15 at 2017 triple P basis. It was introduced or declared by the WTO in 2020. According to the World Bank, 2.15 per day, 2.15 per day. If any person's या any individual's income is below $2.15 in a day, he will be declared as a poor. In other words, we can say it will be estimated at triple P basis. And triple P basis of 2017. It was declared by the World Bank in 2022, but estimated at the rate of 2017 of triple P basis. Triple P basis means purchasing power parity. There are two methods to estimate the currencies of any countries. Like in general, we are estimating India's currency and Bangladesh taka with the US dollar. So suppose that today's US dollar, $1 is equal to 80 rupees. So this is the market valuation. Market valuation is demand and supply. US dollar is very demanded in the market and its supply is less. Due to that, India's currency's value is less. And this is estimated on the basis of market valuation. Okay. So another estimations of comparing currencies of the two countries and multiple countries is the triple P basis. What is the triple P basis? Purchasing power parity. Under it, we select certain commodities under a basket. यानी कि certain goods of a basket is estimated from the price of a country as compared to the other countries' prices. Suppose that we selected 4 and 5 items, यानी books, pencil and etc. So these cost, one books, one pencil cost $1, equal to $1 in US market. The same commodity in the Indian market, suppose that is costing how much? 18. The same commodities या baskets of the goods whenever estimated in Indian markets, we find the costing of these commodities is 18. So here we mean $1 is equal 18 rupees. $1 is equal to 18 rupees. This is the triple P basis. Another things, $1 is equal rupees 80. It is the market base. Market base means exchange rate and demand and supply. So here always India's currency's value is very low in market. But whenever we comparing it with purchasing power parity, so India's rupees value is very high. Okay. So here we are estimating the poverty according to WTO purchasing power parity basis, and the base year is declared as a 2017. If any individual, any person's income is below 2.15 in a day, he is a poor. Is the threshold limit that declared by the World Bank. World Bank changed this definition, and it's make the per capita income currently, according to the World Bank, 2.00 in a day at 2021 triple pay basis, and it was launched in I think say 2025 जून 2025. It was adopted by the World Bank in June 2025. This year, in 2000 June, World Bank changed the definitions and threshold limit, यानी कि poverty line increased. Earlier it was the 2.15. Now it is $3.00 per day. If at the rate of 2021 price of a triple P basis, at triple P basis, so 2021 price at triple P basis. Nowadays, if any individual's income is below this threshold limit, so he is poor. According to this it means a lot of the people will come under the poor, and it's changed to adjust the inflation, and like that the price rises. So another thing that I have to discuss here, relative poverty. What is the relative poverty? One is the absolute poverty, another is the relative poverty. Relative poverty. In next video we will discuss about the relative poverty. Okay, bye.